I invite you to take a moment to imagine that you're standing on the edge of Lake Maparika, or on the knoll overlooking Tutaki Bay. You're now reflecting back on your trip in New Zealand and all the other wonderful scenic places you've experienced and seen. How do you think you'll feel? Your excitement will be building, particularly as you come home to share your photos and pictures of your experience in New Zealand with your family and friends. Kia-Ora. That's the traditional New Zealand Maori welcome. Notice how you lightly touch your nose and forehead. My suggestion to you is that you try this with the locals when you're in New Zealand, especially the Maoris. You'll be surprised how much they appreciate it. Hi, my name's John Spark from Your Travel Planners, and I've been in the travel industry now over 26 years, specialising in sending and helping people go to New Zealand to have the most rewarding, amazing travel experiences possible. To me, it's still one of the most all-inclusive countries or destinations that you could possibly visit. So why am I doing this, you ask? Good question. And it's simple, really. If you want to go to New Zealand and you want the best, then do something different. Give me a bit of your time and I guarantee you'll never see New Zealand like I'm about to show you. Why? Because I'm going to show you how to experience New Zealand authentic. The kind you can't get just by scouring the net or flying into the place. The kind you can get if you like, have a best friend in New Zealand. And I did live there myself for 21 years. That's what I want to give you. So settle down, settle in, and let's go. Who'll benefit the most from this presentation? To me, there's probably two types of people. One, you, if you are either trying to decide whether New Zealand is a suitable holiday destination, or you, if you know New Zealand is for you, but you can't quite decide how to maximise your time, budget, or experience. Lots of things go through your mind when you look at New Zealand, and I want to cover some of the key things as we go through here, and at the end of this presentation you'll be in a position where you will either want to go to New Zealand because it's appealing, or B, you'll need to get somebody to help customise it for you. So let's see what all the components are that I consider from my experience will help you to make a better informed decision. And really that's what my purpose is, to provide you with the most thoroughly researched information we can lay our hands on. This way you will feel comfortable about making the best informed decision possible about your travel to New Zealand. And you know, that may even mean not going at all at this point. Please don't put it off forever though. Let's look at New Zealand as a country. First of all, it's not very big. It's often referred to as the mini Europe. Now, for instance, where the first arrow points at the top to Auckland and the second one to Wellington, the red line between is the main road. That only takes 9 odd hours of driving, sometimes less. So as you can see, you could probably drive from one end of New Zealand to the other in less than 4 days if you wanted to. So how are you going to fill your time in there? What is there to do? So I'm going to share that with you, so stick around. First though, let's start off with a warning, and please, this is really important. Drivers beware, the desert road can be snowed in during the winter. And even in the summertime, occasionally you'll get an out of season storm. Also, New Zealand roads have many, many tight corners, and it's not always that easy as a driver to fully experience and enjoy the scenery around you. So, what's good about New Zealand? Well, look at the photo, for instance, across Lake Taupo to Mount Ruapehu, which is an active volcano. It has blown up a couple of times in the last few years. There are also lakes, mountains, native forests, even a desert. We mentioned the desert road earlier before. Maori culture, particularly the authentic Maori culture, is worth going to New Zealand in its own right. New Zealand is famous for its arts and crafts, particularly the Werribee Art and Crafts Centre Festival in Nelson, New Zealand in January. The wineries If you haven't drank a New Zealand wine and you like wine, you haven't drunk some of the best wine in the world. They're Marlborough Sauv Blancs or Semillon Sauv Blancs, and the Pinot Noirs that they're now producing out of the Otago region are world class. Perhaps the most common comment brought back from people to go to New Zealand is how friendly they are. It's well known that they're probably the friendliest country in the world from this perspective. To me, I love natural tasting food, and in New Zealand it's exquisite. Why? Because, as you see from the picture, there's a volcano, a lot of very rich minerals in the soil in New Zealand, and it just gives everything a different taste. For instance, if you're an ice cream lover, once you've eaten New Zealand ice cream, it's pretty hard to try any other ice cream because they just don't quite taste as good. What are we going to cover? I've quite a few things tonight, but I want to just go through some of the core key things that hopefully will help you get into the position, as I said, where you can research into a bit more detail or get somebody to help customize your travel with you. How long do you make your holiday? Very, very important. Per us, over 25 years of experience here, a 5-week self-drive will give you the type of holiday that will make you feel extremely good. If you've got 5 weeks, perfect. We can plan something along those lines. If you've got a little bit less time, you want to optimize your budget, a 20-day coach tour, minimum of both islands, will give you a fantastic New Zealand experience. Which island do I go to? Do I go just the north? Do I go just the south? Or do I do both islands? My suggestion here is less than 2 weeks, only do one island. Personally, I favour the South Island if you're into the scenery, North Island if you're into the Maori culture. Both islands is the preferred, and again, at least 5 weeks, but probably can be done at a pinch in 4 weeks. How the seasons influence your holiday, very important, and these are my seasons, not the official ones. Summer, to me, is late December through to March, and the good thing about summer in New Zealand, they have daylight saving, so it's light right out to at least 9:30 at night, and the evenings can be quite balmy, so you really can do a lot, and it extends the amount of distance you can travel during the day, and also the different types of things you can do. Autumn is beautiful. If you look at the Arrowtown picture just below, look at the colour of the trees on the background there. It's just magnificent at that time of year, and the weather is very calm usually and nice. Cool nights, cool mornings, but beautiful days. The wintertime, New Zealand, June to August, is featured with some pretty average sort of weather, a lot of rain, snow quite regularly, and short days, 8:30 in the morning through to 4:30, 5 o'clock at night, depending on the weather conditions for daylight. So you have only got half the amount of time as what you would have if you travelled in the autumn or summer to New Zealand. Springtime for me is September to November, the most beautiful time when the mountains are completely snow-capped and the trees below them are as green as anything. The paddocks are lush and growth, but the weather can be pretty average, so it's hit and miss. That's typical spring.